Hey guys, quick message before we get into today's video. I want to clear something up when it comes to the infamous CAR-15. Now, for those of you in the know, you will notice that calling this a CAR-15 isn't exactly period correct, or isn't really correct at all, but there's a reason behind that. Specifically, I want to clear something up. Now, the CAR-15 has gained its infamous notoriety from obviously Master Sergeant Gary Gordon because of the whole Black Hawk Down incident. And I just want to clear something up in the sense that although I did take inspiration a little bit from that rifle, I wasn't trying to make the exact Gordy CAR-15. There are plenty of other people that cover it really well. 9-hole Reviews is a good one. Admin Results, obviously. But this is more of a transitional type rifle, mainly from the late 90s, early 2000s. Stuff that you would see in like Bosnia or the early Middle Eastern wars or anything like that. Again, I just wanted to be respectful. This isn't a rifle, although it was inspired by the Gordy carbine. This is a little bit of its own route, which I feel like we'll explain in the video. And yeah, like I said, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Make sure to subscribe, and catch you on the next one.
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm SouthWestGunner. Welcome to my channel. This is the second video that we're doing for the channel. Right now we're at the beautiful range in Tucson, Arizona. It's a little hot, it'll be a little sweaty. Just bear with me. We're going to try and speed through this one a little bit. But today I'm with my friend Ruben. We're going to be reviewing his gun, one of my favorites. And if you're a clone or anything like that, you like to do the clone rifles, probably in your top 5. We're looking over the CAR-15.
Or thereof, model of.
Thereof, model of. Also known as the Gordy rifle. So I'm going to introduce my buddy Ruben. Ruben, why don't you just tell everybody a little bit about yourself, a little bit of history.
So, like my buddy Dave here said, my name is Ruben. Spent a little bit of time in the Army. I'm exciting there. Got out, started doing, getting into guns and everything a little bit more. Eventually started looking into the old school GWAT era, kind of going off of old gear, as you can tell. And yeah, this is what came out of that. A little bit of a thought child, simple, but a little bit of thought behind it.
Very cool. So you built this whole rifle yourself and basically did all the paint, everything your own work, right? You didn't have anybody else do it, didn't go to any FFLs.
Yeah.
Now, people that are familiar with this rifle, they usually seen it in movies like Black Hawk Down, would be known as the Gordy rifle. This isn't an exact replica of it. It's not the exact clone correct. Clone correct models would have not an OCM5, they wouldn't have an AEM5, they'd actually have Ops Inc. model. It's a 12th model suppressor, which is actually out of business and it's very hard to get, very expensive. So basically, this one's not exactly clone correct, but he went with what he felt was the closest he could do of a representation of it and something he could enjoy, using himself and running it. So why don't you tell me about this gun? What is the length of the barrel of this one?
So this is running a standard 16-inch barrel because NFA is gay. Yeah, just standard 1 1/8 twist. I went with 1 1/8 just because it's kind of the sweet spot for all heavier stuff. And yeah, it's standard as can be, I guess.
And caliber is 5.56.
5.56, .223.
Very cool. Now we're just going to go over the rifle. We're just going to go each part. I'm going to ask him about it, why he chose it. Going to ask him a few questions. So we'll start with the stock. What stock is this, Ruben?
That is a reproduction CAR-15 stock, essentially from the very Vietnam era XM177 models to early invasion, late invasion of Afghanistan. It's just like a plastic reproduction, just because the aluminum ones tend not to have fitment issues with some certain buffer tubes. True. So I just thought I'd play it safe and go.
That's a mil-spec buffer tube on
yes,
okay. Mil-spec buffer tube, cool. Now there are more advanced stocks now. Times have changed, obviously. This is more, like we said, a retro look. It's a retro stock. There could be things that are a little more comfortable, things that are a little less comfortable. Trust me, they're out there. How do you feel about the stock? Do you think it's comfortable?
I actually really like it because I wanted something to be minimalist, and it just seems to work. The cheek weld, little something left to be desired, but I like it. It's comfortable. It doesn't slip especially when I have kit on. And it all around works for me. Very cool, very cool.
Now, would you change it at all, or would you keep that stock? Do you think you're just going to stay with that?
I think I'm going to stay with it just because of the modifications that I did to it.
Very cool. Now we'll move over to the lower receiver, right? We'll start there. You have a basic A2 grip, right?
A2 grip.
That's just the average standard, what they had in the military, and so on and so forth, for God knows how long. Everybody's pretty familiar with that, and it's still in use. Trigger, is it a basic mil-spec trigger?
Trigger is actually the front of it, the actual body of the trigger itself is from an Anderson, believe it or not, because there goes my retention band. I found that the Anderson trigger was very wide, which I liked, running like bigger gloves where just, you know, hands are cold or whatever.
Absolutely.
And then the inside of it is actually a Geisley SSA, I believe, that was cannibalized. Yeah.
So that's the super semi-automatic Geisley trigger that he's referencing to. That's pretty cool. That's a light trigger. It's not too bad.
It's not too bad. I feel like I can use it as like a duty rifle, quote unquote, just hard to use.
Sure. Is it a two-stage, single stage?
It's a single stage, I believe.
Single stage trigger. Cool. So that basically is there's not as much take up. It's just once you get on the trigger, you're basically at the point of break, and when you pull any more, it fires. It's going to either have, it could vary, different pounds for pull, you know, each trigger, but that one, guys, is pretty smooth, pretty light. Lower receiver itself.
So the lower receiver is an Aero Precision, just standard XMM4 lower, I believe they call them.
Yep.
The reason I went with this one over anything else is like, one, Aero is a solid company.
Absolutely.
They stand behind what they do.
Fully agree.
And you also the adjustment to it, so you could actually adjust these lowers with tension screws, so your receiver fits a little bit more tighter.
Very cool.
And so since
gives you less play, more
exactly.
accuracy, more durability, all that.
I mean, it becomes a little harder to disassemble, but
of course. Yeah, you gotta push
how
it
often
out,
do you need to do that? You know?
Hey, come on. Clean when you can, right? Now, the Aero Precision, like you said, very good lower. There are higher end lowers. A lot of them don't really make a difference. There's some stuff that is, you know, you spend the extra money for, certain finishes, certain tolerances, fits, etc. But Aero is a really, really good company. I also run an Aero on my main rifle. I've had Aeros on a lot of friends' rifles. Every single one of them has run flawlessly. Mags in and out, no problem. It seems to function great. Definitely dig it. So you have your basic bolt release, basic safety, nothing ambidextrous, nothing funky fancy going on there. So nothing fancy. We're going to move on now to the upper receiver. The upper receiver, what is it?
So the bare upper receiver itself, without the carry handle, whatever everything else, is actually a BCM.
Cool.
I got it for a pretty good price, so, and I never thought I'd build out a full BCM rifle, so I just threw that on there. You know, started off right. And then the parts kits for the top of it, the parts kits for the dust cover and everything is, I believe, CMMG. Just standard, like I said, keep it simple, cheap. And then standard low spec charging handle. I believe I got that off of maybe an old Palmetto. I have
so
no
that's
idea.
not like a gas buster or anything specific. It's just a basic,
just
you know,
basic
charging handle, fresh out of whatever.
Yeah, just
AR.
keep it simple.
Very
if it works,
cool.
it works.
Now you got the carry handle. Now it does also give you the option of putting optics on the carry handle, like we've seen in the movie. They've run aim points on top.
Exactly.
People run other things, but you're running irons right now. You prefer the irons, or do you prefer?
So I'm kind of one of those people that switches back and forth, especially with the amount of optics that I have. Sometimes I'll throw my, like currently I would run a Hollow Sun X. Don't even know, one of those models.
One of the crazy HS, whatever it may be.
If it comes up and it's there on Amazon Prime, it's there. But yeah, and I was switching back and forth just because I can't decide on anything.
Yeah, sure.
But I went back to this just because it's, one, I feel like the fundamentals should always be a constant refresher. So that forces me to do that.
Absolutely, always go back to your irons.
And two, it's like there's nothing that can fail on it.
Yeah.
Well, obviously you can get
anything
into it,
could fail in the weirdest circumstances, but it's a lot harder to fail iron sights than it is a red dot.
I've seen more broken aim points than I have carry handles.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely. Whoop, that one just fell. Let's pick that back up. So from there, basically what we call that going from optics to irons, different strokes for different folks, right? Now bolt carrier, what kind of bolt carrier do you have in it?
It is a, I believe, a Spikes Tactical.
Spikes Tactical, very cool.
I believe so. It's, again, one of those things pulled out of the drawer, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Now the handguard, basic handguard that comes with the gun, it's not like a quad rail or an M-lock or anything like that.
So about that, so when you buy the barrel set, which we'll get into in a minute, is they come with the very oval shaped handguards, like the classic M4.
Yeah.
Those ones are just like, I don't know why you would think those are cool or how they would look.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wasn't about it. So, and I kind of wanted to get the idea of like the Colt 727, if you're familiar with it. Essentially, M4 profile barrel, fixed carry handle. Kind of going back to that CAR-15 like grips. So, kind of wanted to go back to that a little bit.
Classic look. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
But with a little bit of a flair to it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, these are Brownells.
Brownells, okay.
Brownells.
I dig it, man. It looks fucking great. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's fantastic.
It's great for training on other shooters because their purchase is like
they're
always
used to
pretty good.
grabbing it. You know, just
and
the
it's
old
very
school way.
small too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah, I've shot this
grip.
gun before. I gotta say, this gun runs great. It runs flawless, very accurate. The barrel length is perfect. I mean, you're getting that great ballistics out of terminal ballistics out of that 16-inch barrel, especially with some of the higher grain ammo, 62 grain, even 77 grain. But yeah, so now besides from that, let's talk about the light setup.
So the light. First, no, this is not a real Surefire Weaver adapter.
It is not clone correct, like we said.
Those things are moon rocks. I mean, I have one, but I don't want to grind it down.
Yeah.
So I kind of did the old school Delta mods. No, I did not get this from the movie Blood Diamond or steal this from Administrative Results.
Okay.
I built this way before that.
Speaking of which, shout out to Admin Results. That guy's
Shout
the
out to
man. Let's continue on.
Yeah. So Amazon bullshit Weaver mount. In it, I have a Surefire 6P with a bit of a little modification. I basically wanted to get a rat tail for it, or push pad, but they were just impossible to come by.
Sure.
Because this light is old as hell. Surefire 6Ps, I've been around
It's a little
since...
older, a little dimmer. You know, there's
Exactly.
stuff out there.
But
There's
it
smart
works
lights,
and it
Surefire.
fits the vibe.
Absolutely, absolutely. It works. It fits the vibe definitely. Got the pressure pad on top.
Yep.
Got to throw the electrical tape. You know, go old school. I like how you mounted that because he doesn't have a Picatinny rail on top. Some light mounts now go off Picatinny. Some go on M-Lock. All sorts of different combinations. Like we said, retro, very old school. Dig it very much. So besides that, notice you have your sling. It's actually wrapped around your front iron sight and also your stock. Pretty cool way to set it up. What sling is it?
So this is a Haley Strategic Elite 3 sling. Got to support the local companies.
Absolutely.
This is actually one of the oldest things that I found that doesn't like run. Like, let's be real, all slings
Scrapes
suck.
you up. They all suck.
But this one sucks less just because it's like the padding is perfect.
To be honest with you, I'm going to step in. I don't think this sling sucks at all. I have had plenty of slings in my day. I'm also running now a D3 sling from Haley Strategic, and it's changed everything. Not as much chafing or tearing up your shoulder while you're maneuvering your gun with a kit on, everything like that.
Plus the price isn't too bad.
Oh, the price is great. For what you're getting, it's unbelievable. You can store it away with retention just by pulling one little lever there, and it pulls the gun nice and tight up on your body, loosen it back up if you want to switch shoulders. It's fantastic. It's a great sling, and I like the setup. I like how you have it rigged up. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I had to remove the sling swivel. Wow, words are hard. So went around the front sight classic and then modded it. Took a quick detach QD point
that's pretty neat. I didn't even notice that.
that I drilled into the stock, so then that way I have the option of QD wrapped in the back, so it's tighter to my body.
Oh yeah. Love it, man. It's pretty cool.
Simplicity.
Finally, the barrel. What kind of barrel is this again?
So this is from a company called Matador, I believe.
Matador.
It's
Matador barrel.
one of those companies. Found it for a really good price. It was 1 in 8 in profile because eventually I was gonna SBR it and everything.
Very cool.
And yeah, it was that sweet spot chrome lined, and it's, I think, well, at least the MOA I've been able to get out of this is probably like 1.8 around there, around that area. So not the best, but really not bad.
Very cool. So now this barrel profile isn't the usual barrel profile that they use, because the CAR-15s will have a barrel profile sort of like the Mark 12, just a little bit different, but it allows you to put a collar on it from either Ops Inc. or nowadays Allen Engineering, and nowadays even more Otter Creek Labs. Otter Creek Labs is actually what I'm running. You could put a collar on it on the bottom, and then you put a brake on it that has threading. That's where you would put your suppressor. This is a Otter Creek Labs OCM5. It's a 5.56 suppressor. It has a sort of like a chamfer here, right, which matches up to the collar that would be on your barrel. And how it would work is it would go over the brake, down to the threading. You would thread it on, and eventually it would lock going taper to taper on the collar, and you tighten it down real good. It would be an over the barrel can. It's extremely quiet. It's very durable. This thing, we put this to work. I mean, you can see the coloring right now. It's just blown out. Me and Ruben and a few friends put this to work just last weekend. It was unbelievable. Extremely durable, extremely quiet, as I said. Doesn't really change the POI. You had pretty good hits, you know.
It was actually really solid.
Yeah, it was on point, even with the can on, can off. So this would be not the clone correct one either. The clone correct one would once again be the Ops Inc. 12th model. This is the Otter Creek OCM5. These have been updated a little bit better baffle system. They have knurling now. Just things like little things that Otter Creek did to make them better. Not better, but I would say, yeah, we could say better, but more updated to today's times. But that's basically the gun from rear to front. This thing is bad, man. Do you have any plans in the future for it? Do you plan on cutting the barrel? Do you plan on swapping anything? Do you like certain things, not like certain things?
I honestly don't know, because it's like I want to cut it down to get to the like 727 style length and throw a suppressor on there, get it all to. But at the same time, it's like the ballistics I get out of the barrel, the accuracy I get out of it.
It's unbelievable.
It's pretty good.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
And it's it looks autistic sometimes to people who know what they're looking for, but I mean it works. It's
very cool.
It's like an old Ford pickup truck.
Yeah.
Old.
Yeah, like one of the classics. You don't really want to change much because it might look beat, but it's yours and it's your baby. It's going to be what you're into, you know? And I think the thing looks badass personally. I love it. I think the gun looks great. It shoots great. Couldn't ask for a better rifle, you know? The only things that maybe I would switch personally, like I'd probably go with an updated light, whatever. But then again, it wouldn't have that same rifle look, which is what you were going for. So we have what we have and we're doing it for a reason. There are better things out there, but that doesn't mean you can't own more than one rifle, right? So I mean, the thing, as far as I'm concerned, it's a go-to. It's good. It'll handle anything you throw at it, any kind of ammo you run through it. It basically just keeps going. So that's about it, right? That's it for the CAR-15. All right, man. Ruben, thanks, bro.
Thanks.
Appreciate you. Awesome. All right, guys, that's it for the video. If you like the video you just saw on the one prior that we posted, go ahead and hit that like. There's a like there below the screen. We're going to have Ruben's Instagram. If you look down in the corner when he was talking, it's there. You could add him on Instagram. We're going to have a bunch of different website links on the bottom. One's going to be for Clear 6, which is the shirt that I'm wearing right now, Clear 6 AZ. He makes a lot of cool patches, a lot of cool shirts, stickers, all that stuff. We're going to have one listed for Unknown 8, which is another top tier patch company, you know, slaps, sweatshirts, all sorts of cool stuff. We're gonna have another one for Failed State, which is another friend of mine who makes a bunch of cool apparel and different things. So I appreciate all the likes, comments, anything you guys could do to help. We're just doing this for you guys. We're just trying to have some fun, and all the support helps us keep going. So just hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, get crazy in the comments. I'm all about it. Thanks, guys.